Well, hi there, everyone. Come on in, have a seat, join Britt and I by the campfire as we discuss one of the most beautiful hockey teams in the NHL right now, the Colorado Avalanche. Welcome to the Cluster
Most
Puck
beautiful hockey
Podcast,
team
part of the
after the
MHRT
ugliest
Network
game.
here at Center Ice. I am Nick. Joining me, as always, is Britt. How's it going, Britt?
It's going. I maybe have a couple new ulcers after that game, like a little raspy voice, but I'm still doing well. As much as my brain and heart keep telling me that the world is they're due for something awful to happen, they just continue on with only one regulation loss on the season.
Out of through 18 games, one regulation loss is pretty incredible. That's why I've kind of my hockey hit of the week, my song choice. It's going to be an interesting one, and I do need to describe it, walk through it a little bit. But before we begin, don't forget
you have to do like slam poetry.
What's that?
As well. I want to hear you read it like slam poetry.
Like slam
every
poetry.
Single lyric. Yeah.
You want me to read the lyrics like slam poetry? The lyric, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if the lyrics are going to have much to do with anything. It's more about the title, but I'll try it. I'll do slam poetry for anyone that asks. Okay? I will do it. Anyway, before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow the MHRT Network so you can get notified when shows like the Cluster Puck Podcast go live. You can do so on the various social media platforms of your choosing. And if you want to follow us, we ask that you do so at the Cluster Puck Podcast on Facebook and at Cluster Puck Avs on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. Okay, Britt. Win. I mean, that's all we got for us today. So
on and off the ice.
Happy episode. There was a birthday victory as well, so that's always good news. So a good send-off into my 30s, I'd say. Looking forward to hopefully having wins on my birthday for the rest of my life. Anyways, let's kind of jump into a couple of things real quick before we do the games that happened. A couple of pieces of information, signings that happened between last week and this episode. First one was Gavin Brindley. Okay. Signs a 2-year extension. I forget the AAV. I forget if it's even a two-way, to be honest with you. I just saw the extension.
It is $2.5 million. Oh, wait. So LOC 2.5. Because I put together what our I got really into the Gavin Brindley stuff hard. So for our like third or fourth line, whatever you want to call them, we're spending. So Gavin Brindley is still at $850 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Then, oh my gosh, I can't read. I have so many notes in here. Did you know that Gavin Brindley is also best friends with Fantilli and that his dad played ECHL with Jared Bednar and everything that you could ever need to know? Yeah. And that Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle are actually doing quite well.
Oh.
So LOC and Kelly are signed. Brindley is signed $850K two-way for the first year, $900K one-way second year. LOC is at $2.5 million for 4 years. Kelly is at 1.7 for 4 years. So that's $5 million for a third line altogether. And I don't feel ridiculous in saying that they very well may be the best third line in the NHL.
It sure feels like it, especially after the events of the last couple of days. With Gavin Brindley specifically, obviously potting the overtime winner, getting another one.
I had to look up like exactly where he came from. I forgot that he was the throw-in.
Came from heaven. He was heaven sent, Britt. That's all we need to know.
And what's insane is a little bit of nepotism probably kind of got him his chance with Bednar.
It might have, honestly.
But if you would have told me this summer that I would be like literally making noises out loud with excitement that he's signing for 2 years, I don't know how I would have believed that after 15 games. He has won the hearts, one like push and shove and grit and grind at a time. Like he is the whole fan base, I think, is enamored with him.
Rightfully so. I mean, if you ask my opinion, I believe Gavin Brindley 3 goals on the season so far.
And he had one called off at one point, I believe.
He had one called off, not as much as Landeskog, which we'll talk about that in a second. But he's been deserving it. Gavin Brindley, as far as this contract, honestly, it's
he filled in for Nuke tonight.
He's filled in for Nuke. He's filled in for LOC really, really well. He deserves kind of that spot because he's got these bursts of speed like LOC. He's kind of got this trounce around attitude like
2
McKinnon.
inches taller than me. He's like 5'8".
He's an itty bitty dude. I think he's shorter than me, right?
Mm-hmm. But there's not a single second on the ice that you don't know he's there when he is.
Yeah, and he's got a really snappy wrist shot. Like, it's really incredible. Like the one that he just had at the time of this recording, the Buffalo game that just happened.
Yeah.
That goal that he had was just fast. He came off a corner that was well protected and just fired it past Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and it was just fast. Like anyways. But well deserved on his end. I think it's going to be really good and lucrative if he continues to do what he's doing for fourth line / maybe third line. He's going to go places if he shows this type of promise.
I mean, at that dollar amount, just not getting scratched a couple times a year is like the most you can really ask out of him.
Exactly, and it's low risk, high reward. With the pay and everything, especially with this season going on. It's great. Like he's been the one kid that I've just been very
guys
surprised
need
with
to win a cup.
Oh yeah, he
is the guys that are getting paid nothing and doing
exactly
$6 million a year.
Totally agree with you. So that's one signing. An additional signing that happened just today, actually, at the time of this recording, yesterday for those of you watching right now. Scott Wedgewood signs a 1-year extension with the Avs.
Oh, I thought it was 2.
Was it 2? I might have misread it. I'm sorry.
I think so, because that's why the 2 years. Let me look, because that would kind of change the mystery around it.
Hang on, let's take a look. Just 2 seconds here. It is a 1-year deal. 1 year,
is it
2.5.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, then that kind of changes the way I look at it then, because I thought 2 sure was bizarre, but that makes okay.
So that's kind of going to bring up the entire point of this episode, Brit, called the Two-Goalie Problem. And it's a good problem to have, and we've talked about this before, but Wedgewood is playing really, really well right now. A lot of people think he's friggin' Swiss cheese in some nights, and he's had some dump games, right? Everyone does.
Barely, though. We haven't lost by more than 1 goal all season.
He's played solid enough, Britt, that he's done a very good job to just let the offense do what they need to do and not worry about him making those kind of egregious errors, right? I don't want to throw any goalies under the bus as far as past Avs goalies, but I think you know who I'm talking about.
You can tell the way that this team is willing to play in front of him.
Exactly. That becomes now the new issue, because at the beginning of the season, Britt, you and I were talking about the fact that the bona fide 1A is Mackenzie Blackwood, right?
Yeah, our young stud that just got a nice big old signing too.
He got a big old contract signed for a nice amount and everything like that. And so we said, okay, Blackwood's the go-to. Wedgewood's going to slot in at 1B. Neither one of them is worse off than the other per se, but it's just.
I think Scott Wedgewood is playing above what's sustainable, though. I did not anticipate this from Scott Wedgewood, and I do not think that it's sustainable.
Yeah, potentially. But that's just it, Britt, is that it's currently being sustained, much to our amazement. But there comes 2 questions with this, though. In this two-goalie problem is, A, what does this do to Mackenzie Blackwood's kind of attitude, outlook on the fact that he's supposed to be this 1A? That's the first question. And the second is exactly what you said. At what point does Wedgewood kind of have this come back down to earth moment, if at all?
It's, I would venture, it doesn't help that we are fanatics of a team that doesn't tell us shit and nobody leaks anything. So it's really hard to gauge the drama or the vibes, the unsaid things. But if I had to venture to guess, I think that Scott Wedgewood is a very well-tenured veteran suitcase backup goalie who understands his role and accepts it really gracefully. I could see Blackwood struggling with feeling as though his spot might be getting taken over or intimidation, or, you know, there's got to be so much stress that goes into two goalies on an NHL team competing for the same spot, but also expected to, like, wanting to root for each other and also hoping the other one falls flat on his face and dies the next day. So that, you know, it's the Ulmark Swayman thing. It is truly, like, it needs to be studied, because they either are secret lovers or that was all fake. I don't know. It's so weird. But I wondered if Blackwood would struggle a little bit, and then him coming back and looking very rusty probably accelerated any negative feelings or any idea in his head that he may have been sitting on a little bit. I would imagine that made those thoughts a lot stronger after the bad. I mean, it's been rough.
Yeah. And
every time he's been on the ice.
And at the end of the day, though, I mean, goalies understand that you can only play them one at a time, unless they're obviously get pulled or whatever, right? But for the most part, one at a time, right? And sometimes you just ride the hot hand, which right now is undoubtedly Scott Wedgewood. Yeah. But in my opinion, at some point, and I don't want this to sound like I'm a Debbie Downer. I am extremely happy that we have two very serviceable goaltenders, and that the 1B, so-called, is performing like a 1A. Don't get me wrong, okay? I want that to be right. I want that to be sustained. But I am waiting for the other shoe to drop. Okay?
Yeah. The ideal situation is somebody established as the 1A, knowing it, feeling it, being told that that's it, but knowing that somebody behind them could take it, and it's competitive enough that they have to work for it. Like, I think that was a Georgia problem.
Yeah.
So the balance, because it's 90% mental. So I think that you're right, where it's not a healthy balance right now. Not knowing who's the true tandems is just not. You don't have a 1A and a 1A. It's just not ever. The goalies are already weird enough and emotionally unstable enough. There's no way we could ever figure out how to live in a world where we're just.
Yep.
And I don't think that Bednar really caters to the emotional, side pieces that a lot of goalies benefit from. You know what I mean? I don't see him catering to a goalie's emotional needs in any. I don't know. Does what I'm saying make sense? Because I think
I get what you're saying. Yep.
He doesn't work too hard, and I bet he probably doesn't in the locker. So he's not providing the reassurance that maybe could be beneficial in private.
Yep.
But also, we're not there in the private, so who knows? But that's just not really his style.
It is. He very much calls it as he sees it, right? And he kind of relies on them being the goaltenders, or any of the players for that matter, to kind of fix themselves mentally, I guess, more than anything. That's just kind of been his approach on everything. So no, I totally get what you're saying.
And it probably does also compound the situation being like a little more stressful for Blackwood, in that he did come out and say that he wasn't like super injured to start the year. It was actually just something that had been lingering that he wanted to take care of. And so they just chose to do it now. So it wasn't something that he absolutely had to do. So if this does turn into a long-term, never ending issue, which I think one good hot game and he'll be out of it. But you have to wonder if that's crossed his mind that, did I just mess everything up? Because
again, because if you and I are speculating this, he himself is thinking this about himself. It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
And that's just it. I think that if anything, and if I'm to assume Mackenzie Blackwood is anything, he very much is a self-motivator, right? He's not going to take this as an insult, rather an avenue to get better and to prove, not necessarily that he is the guy, but that he's perfectly serviceable in any given situation, right? And obviously, just coming back, he's played 3 games now. Everything's going to be okay, I think. But to answer my second part of the question, my worry is that if Wedgewood does come down, it's not just going to be a slow, oh, he dropped a game, he drops 2, he drops
he's just
3,
going to start shitting the bed and dropping 6
just
goals
starts
3 games in a
going,
row.
just losing
Because
things.
when he's bad, he's bad.
That's my worry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say that I think it'll happen. I really don't think it will.
It certainly could. I
could.
thought it might come tonight, honestly. But
yeah,
it almost did. But we outscored our problems.
Almost did. But I do think that by maybe mid-season, the Olympic break, something around there, I do think you will see, at the very minimum, one game after the other. Right?
Mackenzie Blackwood was named for the Olympic team. Yeah, no? Third goalie, I believe. Or am I totally making that up?
You could say that and I'll believe you. How does that sound?
I'll check. Put a pin in that.
While you're checking, I'm going to go ahead and get us into the games that happened over the last week. We talked about 3, but ended up, doing this episode after the 4th. But hey, here we are. It was Buffalo. The key to the game was just beat them, and here we are.
Right. Anyway, show up.
So you go a perfect 4-0, Brit. One of them does require overtime, but not this first one, where you go to Edmonton and you drop not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not even 6 or 7 or even 8 for that matter. Brit, you dropped 9. We've talked about this before. 9
It
goals.
Wasn't fun anymore. It started making me sick.
Oilers. What?
And did you hear national media offended that they were arguing so hard for that goal to not be called off, and that Colorado was like ravenously hungry to get 10 goals. Like it made them bad people or something. Like they wanted that 10 so bad. Talking about them like they're just pit bulls, and hell yeah, we want 10.
Who doesn't? Especially when you have...
understand the way that this team literally goes Stanley Cup contender, possibly changes the trajectory of their current team formation and plan and rebuild all of it in one game, then goes and loses to one of the worst teams in the league the next. It's wild how this team does that kind of stuff.
It is incredible. And here's the fun part about this entire thing, Britt. So yeah, Connor McDavid gets the power play goal. Sure, right? That's kind of expected. But you get 2 goals from Cale Makar. You get 2 goals from Jack Drury. You get 2 goals from Parker Kelly. You get 2 goals from
Nathan nice to McKinnon, see those guys throw up.
And a goal from Gavin Brindley, right? And one that should have been Landeskog's, but here we are.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that in a second, Britt, because another one gets called off at this Buffalo game.
Add that one on the whiteboard ticker.
Anyways, the game
it was beautiful though to see so many bottom 6 scoring. I mean,
well, not only that is a good point, but the fact that you had 4 with 2 goals each.
Yeah, this isn't Nathan McKinnon scoring 4 goals and getting 2 assists, and Natchez scoring 2, and then an LOC scoring 1. You know what I mean? Like this was by community kicking the living shit out of what was supposed to be
a very formidable Edmonton Oilers team who had been to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals.
Who is other than Colorado and Carolina, are any of the teams that were considered top contenders, maybe Vegas? I don't know that they were considered top contenders, but they are. Are any of the other teams living up to their expectations in any way whatsoever?
Currently,
Toronto is melting and burning. Panthers are limping.
Yep.
It's
Edmonton's
wild.
Edmonton's out of a playoff spot.
The Rangers
Vegas is tied with San Jose for just an outside playoff spot. And yeah, everyone else.
Wild. I mean, people thought the Wild were going to be decent.
Everyone else has currently stunk. Now, do I think that's going to be forever? I think it doesn't.
No, it's and I mean, the Ducks, like that's not sustainable. But can you believe. If I
Well, but
told
what
you.
if it is, Brit? We'll talk about that in a second. I have opinions on that.
On the
You
Ducks?
and I,
Oh,
you give me that cheeky little smile. You and I might be disagreeing on something here.
No, I'll go wake Mac up and he'll come fist fight me for you.
I think Mac and I are on the same train here.
He is getting way too cocky with all of this newfound success.
Oh, I believe it. I 100% believe it. But the game itself, out of hand, early.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, that wasn't even a game.
It even felt like there was
I don't even know what to say.
Of...
Like, everything was it went right for the Avs and nothing went right for the Oilers. Kind of plain and simple, to be honest with you. Like, I don't really have, other than the Parker Kelly, his second goal, shorthanded, that was a thing of beauty, right? Everything else was just a gimme shot, really good putback, like something Stuart Skinner really should have, or I guess both goaltenders, since they played both of them, really should have gotten, that they just didn't. Neither goaltender for Edmonton had it. And it took me by surprise because I said last week that this is going to be one of those close games. And it just, I was wrong. I was wrong. Like,
it is a game that I truly feel is going to be like a historical marker for a lot of people's lives in that organization, as I truly think that that's the kind of game that changes the foundation of a team. Because I mean, the fact that they didn't acquire a new goalie, who's their guy? What's his name? I always want to say Quinville. Who's their GM? The old Chicago GM.
Oh,
I mean, he just has done a terrible job. I'm still absolutely bewildered by the fact that they didn't act on a goalie. And I'd like to think that they maybe just missed out on something.
Which is funny because they took Connor Ingram from the Mammoth off of waivers. Why don't they just put him in?
No. Do you know who has a higher save percentage than both of theirs do right now? Matt Murray. Don't get Matt Murray.
As in, like, from like 20 years ago, Matt Murray?
Yeah, Stanley Cup champion. But
really?
This game, I think that the Avs have had, I think you could maybe call it 3 games where they have shaken the foundation of whole entire organizations. And this game might be one where he's changing like legacies. I mean, think about Connor McDavid. If I were Connor McDavid, I don't know I could have stayed out there for that whole game.
It was a very
I wouldn't have blamed him a single bit if he had left the ice, got in his car, and then called the newspaper and told them, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have blamed him at all, because it is
pull a Patrick Law and say this is my last game.
Yeah. How could they let us get Scott Wedgewood and Mackenzie Blackwood last year? This is 3 years going.
It's highway robbery, Brit, and we can do it because we have a really good front office. That's why.
But they're in a position now. They're gonna have to. Or Hyman. They're gonna have to give up more than they probably could and still win a cup type for a goalie that's just average.
No, absolutely.
I don't know. It's been on my mind heavy though. Same with the way I think we broke the Sabres. And then who was it? One more game.
Yep. But we'll get to that in just a second. First, I want to wish myself a happy birthday because a 5-4 overtime win on Sunday against the Canucks, in a very frustrating fashion, though, Britt, it does bring a smile to my face to see Gavin Brindley potting that overtime winner. What happened against the Canucks? What's that?
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. He scored those just for you. Did he call you after?
He did. And he wished me a happy birthday, and I thanked him, and everything was peachy. It really was. But I am more concerned, Britt, over the fact that this was a Canucks team that is still trying to find their identity. And I had that sinking feeling last week that if they find their stride, they all like if their highs, like they did. Their highs are high and their lows are low. They found some high highs in that game. Just the Avalanche could not sustain a lead to save their lives, and they had the lead 3 different times. One of which was a 2-goal lead, and that one.
I didn't get to watch most of this one. We had a niece born on your birthday. I didn't even think
Oh,
I am like sitting
best
here
day
trying
ever.
to think if I told you happy birthday, and then I just realized that
I
I'm
felt
pretty
it in
sure that I
spirit,
have.
Britt. It's fine. Don't worry.
No, we'll talk about it after, but that's really cute now. Yeah, I didn't get to watch most of this game, but I can gauge games very well, and Connor McGahey did not like it.
Yeah, it was one where it needlessly went to overtime, in my
Yeah.
opinion. In fact, needlessly came back into the game. Now, this one is a Mackenzie Blackwood game. I don't pin a lot of these goals on him, to be completely honest with you. He played fine, in my opinion. There wasn't really much that I
Yeah.
had against him other than the Kiefer Sherwood goal. That for sure shouldn't have been one.
Kiefer freaking Sherwood. That mofo
know.
has got more women fawning over
That's
him
man
than.
himself.
Oh my God. And when people like, I don't think that much of the Avs fan base, were we doing this show when we still had him? I was bitching and moaning about keeping him. I loved him so much. I have always loved him so much. And then everywhere he's gone, they've loved him so much, but he just barely outprices himself. And this year he's just going full blown Connor McDavid. I mean,
he's going
he
nuts.
He is Brinley in a big man's body.
Pretty much. The Drew O'Connor goal was a shorthanded goal. That one I'm pinning on the power play because that was just stupid puck possession. And like, I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're Mackenzie Blackwood, so I'm not going to pin that one on him. But regardless, all you had to do was hold on to a 4-3 lead for the remaining, 3 minutes?
Yep.
And you couldn't even do that because you couldn't stay out of the penalty box late. It was a really dumb. It was a really dumb checking call or whatever it was. Maybe it was a hook or something like that Taves committed. That was just one of those, like, you throw your hands up and you say, based off of the fact that you couldn't hold a lead in this game, that automatically tied it. Lo and behold, like 40 seconds in, they tie the game and it goes to overtime.
Okay, so question real quick. Is Taves right this year? Something off.
Is he all right?
Yeah, is something off with him, or is he just
he seems like he's playing he seems like he's playing like he was last season, where he was, I don't want to say invisible,
you
but
think
just
he's
not
reserved
noticed
a little bit more in the regular season?
Yeah, something to that extent, where he will have those games where he turns it on.
Yeah,
but
it's so weird how he has spurts.
He does have spurts.
But I've just been wondering if he looks a little hurt. Or
he looks the same like he did last season. Not invisible, but just kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, till he's not. Yeah. And then he scores some goals and then he goes back to his cave.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. I wondered if I was like reading too much into that because he just seems so quiet this year, but
yeah.
He'll probably kick our asses in the Olympics and just show me how.
That's probably what's going to end up happening. But the big fun piece there is, though, Gavin Brinley getting overtime minutes, first of all, is really impressive for him. But to basically go and do this whole thing, I don't want to say himself, because obviously McCarr and McKinnon assisted that.
Yeah.
But the initial shot, the putback, the rebound, everything was all him. Like the force stride into the slot, everything.
Like, it's beautiful how shamelessly he plays. Fearless. He's not worried about, you know what I mean? He doesn't play with any caution or reserve, and it's brought him a lot of success.
Yeah, it has. So a good win. You try to get whatever bad taste out of the mouth, and then you go home for a little national broadcast game against the Anaheim Ducks, who at the time of this game, it was the number 1 team versus the number 2 team in the league. Yeah, let that sink
7-game win streak we broke. We're just breaking everybody.
Now, this game, at least through the first half of the game, I'd say, really was shaping up to be something of a playoff game. And it still kind of had that feel to it.
It was,
to be honest,
so fast. So fast.
It was a very quick, very hard hitting. The pace was intense. It was one of those, like, unless you're paying attention, you lose track of anything that's been going on type stuff.
Yeah.
I
do think it was very nice to see the Avs adjust and play play their game, because I feel when they play younger, more amateur teams that have more chaos, it really throws a very like rigid systemic team off their game. Like we have kind of a more veteran disciplined team, like when the Utahs and the Coyotes used to kill us. It was nice to see them really consistently seem to stay within their own, you know what I mean, not playing down.
Yeah. However, halfway through the game, Landeskog finally scores a goal that is kept in the score sheet and not taken off.
Oh my God.
A very nice putback, fighting right where he usually is, right in front of the blue paint. And he kind of just scrapes one right over the leg, and it goes in, and it was beautiful because once again, I need to talk about it after the Buffalo game. I'm going to focus here. But it eventually did slip away as soon as Natchez pots his power play goal, which Natchez is now scoring
just trucking
a goal a game now. That's cool. Yeah,
he's got to be at like 2.5 points a game for most of it. It's insane. Like I swear to God, he touches every single puck that goes in the net at some point within the first. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. So at that point, that one felt like it was more out of reach for Anaheim. This was about 7 minutes into the third period. But it still had that thing of like, if Anaheim gets a goal, they get momentum. And it's one of those 2-goal leads where it felt dangerous to have. But as soon as Parker Kelly hits that empty netter, everything's fine. It was a very good game. Like I would give this atmosphere of this game like an 8 out of 10. Like
it was a good watch.
It was extremely fun to watch. Leo Carlson.
And they're real. Outrageous. I mean, the Ducks are real.
They are real. And a little fun.
Are they Stanley Cup contender real? I don't think so. But they might make the playoffs.
Yeah. That's going to be the interesting part of their sustainability of doing this good this early. Are you going to experience burnout for this young of an experienced team? Yeah. However, Joe Quenneville is your head coach, and he knows a thing or two. Right?
One of the most notable coaches that ever coached in the NHL. I think a lot of people would argue that he's the best.
Exactly.
Has been.
He is, could be around the best.
But he's a very motivating coach. He's got that
especially when he absolutely blows a gasket against the referees because of a high stick that, to me, wasn't even a high stick.
Yeah, I don't
like the stick didn't even hit him. Anyway,
but you're too old.
But here we are. So you skate away 4-1 win, three wins in a row. Everything's great. Now, the game that just occurred for us, that you guys watching this is yesterday night. The Avalanche do win against the Buffalo Sabres with a score of 3-6. Now, the score seems like it's, easier win. No.
I didn't really have that much fun watching this game.
This one was not very fun at all, actually. In the sense that the first period was just chaos.
It was chaos. So clumsy.
Yep. Natchez scores a minute into the game, right? Shocking. Natchez gets another goal in another game.
How many games have we scored within the first 2 minutes of the game?
That, I think, makes 2 in a row.
Because Lehkonen scored, 28 seconds?
He was 28, yeah. He was around 30. He was very, very quick. But that's 2 games in a row that you scored in the first minute. You're like, great, off to a great start. Another few minutes pass by. Lehkonen gets another goal, his 8th of the season. And you're like, all right, here we go. Well, you can't have a returning Avalancheman without having a returning Avalancheman goal. Bo Byram scored the goal.
Bo.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet tonight, though, otherwise. I mean, he wasn't.
He
wasn't his normal little angry,
Although he definitely had a little tiff with Nathan MacKinnon that caused Nathan MacKinnon to commit an egregious slash, an intentional slash.
Yeah. So I just mean his play. He didn't look. Yeah. He looks more. I don't know.
It was an eyebrow raiser, that's for sure.
The Buffalo effect.
But once again, Brock Nelson gets a goal. Everything's okay. You're up 2 again. Oh my God,
that freaking pass between the defenders' legs, that
Wasn't it
Roscoe.
Cool? Wasn't that so cool?
And I had to do some convincing. I saw it once and I wasn't able to rewind. And I convinced myself for sure that it was on purpose. not on accident, shut out the accident, like got lucky. It really was on purpose.
Mhm.
So incredible.
It was amazing. It was so amazing. But you're up 2 goals at this point, Britt. You're like, okay,
We're gonna
now you
score
can just
69.
now you can
Did it
just
once this week already.
skate away, right? That's all you got to do. You can just skate away with it. No, Jordan Greenway has to go and put the score close again, 2-3.
Why is he always a thing when he plays?
Yes. He's and starting on their top line too. Now I understand Buffalo is
such a
currently going through
stupid
injury,
jerk.
but it's just like, of course.
Yeah, he's
you
been
know.
injured, hasn't he? Was this his first game back after injury?
No, he played in Utah yesterday.
Okay. He's
Yep.
a tool. He's one of those guys, him and his his relatively close name can whatever the word is, Grunland. I hate them both. I wish the Avs would have got Grunland because I would have fallen in love with him, but they're two dudes that I just don't like, and they're not endearing to me at all in a way that some assholes are endearing. They're just not.
Sure, I get you. But the score is 3-2, Britt, at the end of 1.
The game never felt at peace for a moment.
Yep, you can't have heartache without it finally getting tied up. Tage Thompson, who does have he puts together a very nice power play goal.
It was a beautiful goal.
He ties the game,
and I love him.
Luckily, though, Gavin Brindley in this bull in a china shop type thing, where he gets a pass from Josh Manson and he just jets into the offensive zone, coming down the near side with a man on him and just fires it.
You
like
could have put a brick wall in front of him and monkeys hanging on his shoulders, and it
was incredible. It was an incredible goal. And it just adds to the point that, like, he's got such potential.
He's got that extra level that some guys just lack. I think like Mikko Rantanen is one of those guys that I always felt never had the dog in him.
Mm-hmm. He has that Logan O'Connor-esque type speed, that Nathan McKinnon-esque recklessness. Mm-hmm. And the height of a Chihuahua, it's incredible. If he continues to do this, he reminds me like a Logan Stankoven, for example.
Yeah, it amazes me that I'm just thankful we signed him for a couple.
Yeah,
he kind of worries me that he's one of those guys that will get overpaid somewhere, but that's probably if Olofsson continues to excel this year, he's probably going to pull like a Burakovsky, Rodriguez type thing. But I could see Brindley being one of those dudes that sticks around. And having two guys like LOC and Brindley, paying them almost nothing, especially when you actually have LOC on the ice, having two of them feels criminal. Because even just having LOC when he's playing at his best is... I mean, it's a godsend. You have to have guys like that, like I said, to win a Stanley Cup.
Yep, you absolutely do. And it's comforting to know that if he is that depth piece, that he can rise to the occasion. So I'd be interested to see that assuming we keep him for the rest of the regular season, what he does in the playoffs. I
think he'll stay, especially as if you go look at his minutes, I looked at them earlier. His minutes have progressively gone up. He is playing more minutes than his line is playing. Significantly more minutes.
Yep. So
could you put if Kiviranta came back today, you couldn't take.
I feel like you couldn't. I feel like that would just take the wind out of Gavin Brindley's sails at this point.
LOC's ready soon, isn't he? Who do you take out?
Still a month-ish left.
Oh, is it? Okay. But I mean, I just don't know if you're forced with that decision. I don't know who you take out if you have LOC.
It's a good problem to have, but it's a problem you don't want. You know what I mean? Like, it's like...
Bardakov feels pretty disposable, but there's going to be harder decisions down there.
Like right now, Taylor McCarr or anyone who's in that flex position, no offense to him, he almost had a goal. But right now,
it wouldn't feel offensive to take him out.
What's that?
It wouldn't feel offensive or like ridiculous to send Taylor McCarr back down, but it would start a riot if you
Potentially.
took
Especially
Brindley out of this lineup.
Yeah, if you took him out at this point, especially after giving him the extension based off of recent play,
Yeah.
that feels like it'd be a big disservice, not only
The
to
Eagles
him,
will
but
probably be fine with it, but
yeah. Anyway, so third period rolls around. At this point, it feels like it's back in the Avalanche's possession for good in this game. Natchez hits another goal. Landeskog pots an empty netter.
Did you see Natchez's interview after the game? How he passed that to Landy.
Yeah.
They asked him about passing to Landy. He said, "When my captain's open, I pass it to him."
You pass it to him.
Landeskog has been his captain for what, like 3 weeks, and like it just Landeskog. He commands people to respect him.
He does.
And Nate just has enough damn goals of his own.
He's got 12 through 18 games, Brit.
He's not a merchant of any particular fashion. He's just kicking butt. Thank God he's signed.
It's incredible just to see exactly where he is. Now, an interesting statistic about this, Brit, really fast. Let me point something out here. At one point in time, I should say this week, I believe McDavid is now back into the conversation, but the points leaders were as followed: Nathan McKinnon, and then children. Okay, it was Connor Bedard, Macklin Celebrini, and Leo Carlson. With
Leo
Nathan
Carlson
McKinnon.
has arrived, huh?
How about
friends.
that? Huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible that those were at one point in time your 4 points leaders? San Jose was at one point on a 4-game winning streak. Like, it was incredible just to watch that happening all unfold behind the scenes. But now I believe McDavid, who had a pretty good outing just recently, is now shot back into those top rankings. But
he's still very underwhelming this year, especially when I expected him to be that team should have come shot out of a freaking cannon. Their captain just signed the most team-friendly deal in NHL history.
Then they go and lose 9-1.
Yeah, and we weren't the first one to kick their butts.
I know.
They're floundering.
It's the most insane thing. But the thing is, like, teams like your Torontos, your Floridas, your Edmontons, if they keep floundering for much longer, it's going to have an effect. It's going to have a massive
Thanksgiving effect. Is it American Thanksgiving? That's generally the probability of making the playoffs if you're out after like American Thanksgiving. There's some statistic. It is
unless you're the 2019 St. Louis Blues. It's not.
It's unprecedented to be able to suck this long. And the Oilers are always bad at the beginning of the season, but not this late into the season.
It's going to be an interesting, like, the parity in all of sports this year is ridiculous.
Oh my God. The Denver Broncos are the best team in the freaking world. It's so wild.
The weirdest thing. Like, it's great to see. Don't get me wrong.
The Raptors. I mean, I listened to the Chris Johnson show. He's like a lifelong
Raptors guy,
maniac. Or Blue Jays. Sorry, Chris Johnson is a lifelong Blue Jays maniac, and earlier in the summer had literally sworn them off. Like, said, screw them, I cannot do it anymore. It hurts too bad to watch them. I hate this baseball team, blah, blah, blah. And him and a lot of them. And then they turned it around pretty quick. And now that was one of the most beautiful baseball playoff runs of all time. It was so emotional and so fun.
Yeah.
And so not supposed to be like that. It's a weird world right now in sports.
It is. It is a very, very strange world. But the Avs sit top of the league for another week. And again,
and the Bruins are good.
Yeah, and the Bruins are something great. They're the only ones that have handed us our only regulation
They're supposed
loss.
to be bad.
So
weird.
Here we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
This whole league is topsy-turvy. Brit. Okay, so let's move into the upcoming game, singular.
Yeah,
that I want to talk about. The schedulers, once again, don't know what they're doing. The Avalanche have one game on Sunday, which we'll talk about, and then nothing until Thursday.
Yeah, the 3-day rests are just about 12 hours.
They're mood killers, man. They're
for the players too. Like they talk about that. It's not a good vibe to travel and sit.
Motivation, but nonetheless, for this upcoming week, and that is against the New York Islanders. That's Sunday, November 16th, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, puck drop at Ball Arena. This one is interesting because the Islanders are bottom feeders of the league at current,
but they
are on a 3-game winning streak, most recently beating teams like the New Jersey Devils and the Vegas Golden Knights in overtime.
So weird. And a lot of it is they have one of the best goaltenders in the world that's been underperforming more often than not as of recent,
Yeah.
But he's capable of
two key, I guess really the big key to the game is to watch the play of Matthew Schaefer.
Oh my God, I love him so much.
First overall pick in this year's draft, and he has shown exactly why. He's already got 12 points, 5 goals, 7 assists, which for a defenseman is incredible. This kid has potential similar to that of your Quinn Hughes, your Cale Makars. He's got the whole package, and that's a very dangerous thing, especially having only played 18 total NHL games in his life. Right.
And having injuries the last 2 years. He played hardly any hockey in the last few years with some very serious injuries. I mean, he's truly an incredible human being and player. And honestly, other than Makar in the last 20 years, there's not been a defenseman that has been able to come out and be so successful.
Yes.
Defensemen have to cook.
I agree 100%. And because of Cale Makar or your Quinn Hughes or players like that revolutionized what a defenseman's role is, you're going to have kids like Matthew Schaefer that are going to just go and get points, score goals while still being really good at defense itself. Right?
Yeah. And it's to the point where like kids coming in are guys that have shaped their game around watching players like Cale Makar, who have essentially revolutionized the defenseman position into one that's a lot more of a rover than it ever was. You're not stuck in
a very hybrid position, at least for those guys nowadays. And Schaefer is looking like
we're going to see a lot more of that. Schaefer is young enough that he very well could have changed his game and put emphasis on his skating simply from watching Cale Makar play. So it's gonna change really fast on the defensive end, but Matthew Schaefer is capable of stealing this game himself.
He 100% is. The one player, or I guess there's two, the one player that I am interested to see, and not because of his production, is Jonathan Drouin. I know Brit. I had to say his name. I miss him just as much as you do, but I'm interested to see if he scores a goal in this game to see if my superstition of scoring against the Avs is true.
Yeah, he has to, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I'm kind of speaking it into existence because look who I'm wearing right now, right? Like, for crying out loud, I'm wearing a Rantanen jersey. Okay, so I'm interested to see how he fares now against the Avalanche, but the true player that I am actually wanting the Avalanche to shut down is their effective primary goal scorer in Bo Horvat. 12 goals. The next highest one, I believe, has 5. Okay. He is the breadwinner for the Islanders right in this moment. I feel like if you shut him down, you shut the offense down. Right. Goaltending aside, I understand Sorokin is a very good player. They have Varlamov, both of which are very serviceable and could really save games for them.
Yeah.
But if you take away Horvat and his scoring ability right now, I think you have this game in hand.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very unremarkable team. Basically, we just have to not lose the game for ourselves. And there really isn't, Schaefer and Horvat are where you're going to have to put most of your effort and then just kind of show up for the rest.
Yes. And I guess I should clarify, the Islanders were bottom feeders. They're top half of the league now, but
Yeah, but that's more so as a result of other teams going down as opposed to
that's exactly it. It's they go up as others go down, right? So I don't want to necessarily say the game is in hand, because once again, the Avs can always do what the Avs have always done and play to the level of their opponent, right? And
like it
especially
confuses
at
them
home.
when the game isn't like fast enough or good enough.
Exactly. But I feel like if you just shut down Horvat, you shut down their offense, and that should give you enough, because the Avalanche have enough offensive firepower to get the job done, regardless of who's in net for the Isles, right? Yeah. So that's my key to the game. It's
hard to say much about it.
But that's the only game we're going to cover this week, Brit. Just because the hockey schedulers and
hopefully it gives Nuke enough time to come back. They didn't release anything else about Nuke, right? Just lower body. Such jerks.
Yeah.
They want to drive me to the crazy house by just like not telling me what's going on with my family, my Avs family.
There you go.
Yeah, so Nuke is lower body injury. It's about that time of year. So pray to God that it's
about
just
right. Yep. And
actually,
I'm not even going to say the next bit because I don't want to speak it into existence.
Gerard is back though. He looked good tonight. God, I could not believe he didn't get that goal.
How do you miss something that wide open? Oh,
that post. Anyways. You know that it just rang all the way through to the
that one is still ringing in my ears. It's like you had.
It was good on him though to get his butt up there. It was a good play.
Whatever.
But
anyways, we're going to go ahead and close with our hockey hits of the week, where for those of you who are new to this channel, we pick a song every week that best reflects our impression of how the past week went for the Colorado Avalanche. I do need to get that put onto a Spotify playlist. We will try to continue that at some point to put it on so you guys can all take a listen, and we'll put it out on our page as soon as I actually, not have a busy work life and can actually start posting all of our stuff on our social medias. But I'll go ahead and get us started, Brit. This song is based off of the fact that you go and lay, and I quote, belt to ass to the Edmonton Oilers. My song for the week is Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth. Okay.
It's funny because my song revolves around that game too.
I feel like it kind of has to.
Something about beating the Oilers 9-0. Completely hockey set aside, but just having to know that their fans are having to live and sit in that poopy diaper.
So if you want me to slam poetry, the first few lines, I'm more than happy to. The opening lyrics do say, "You take a mortal man and put him in control. Watch him become a god. Watch people's heads a-roll." That's exactly what happened with this 9-1 win against the Oilers. You had McKinnon, you had Makar, mortal men. You put them in control, and that team was effectively the team of the gods that particular game. And guess what? That win streak continued, and you won 4 in a row. The Avalanche, in my mind. So that's my hockey hit of the week. I'll make sure to add that onto the list. Brit, what do you have for your hockey hit of the week?
Mine could pretty much just be summed up in the title too, but I think the lyrics go with it. Mine, I just it kind of hit my era when I was at my most competitive high school sports. So you know how those songs kind of resonate with you differently. Mine is Fort Minor, Remember the Name. To me, that is one of those songs. It hits hard. So I just I think the Oilers, they're gonna remember our name.
They will have a hard time getting that name out of their mouth, is what they are going to have. Fun fact about that song, actually, when Allie and I went to our Lincoln Park concert back in early September, Mike Shinoda played a Fort Minor song, and it was Remember the Name.
Really? Oh, that song, it takes me back to being at the football fields while they're blaring
it's such a great intro. The intro is so great.
And that's Kanye West when Stronger came out. I mean, that music, it hits so different. And it probably isn't as compelling to my kid or people older than me, but Remember the Name basically is the gangster equivalent for a 36-year-old white woman. That's being dominant.
There you go. Meanwhile, this nerd over here with glasses over here screaming Megadeth. So Here we are. All right. Well, Britt, I think that's going to go ahead and run us all the way to the ground. Unless you have anything else to add, I think we'll close up shop here and call it a night for us, early morning for you guys watching right now. So, okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this week's episode of the Cluster Puck Podcast, part of the MHRT Network. Again, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow the MHRT Network so you can get notified when shows like the Cluster Puck Podcast go live. You can do so on the various social media platforms of your choosing. And if you want to follow us, we ask that you do so at the Cluster Puck Podcast on Facebook and at Cluster Puck Avs on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. With that being said, we got one game this week, so let's go 1-0. Seems like a pretty easy enough challenge, eh? So, have a great weekend, everyone. And as always, go Avs, go.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my